Everybody, this is Stephen with Junior Achievement here with lesson number 4, part of our JA It's My Future program. This is part of our work readiness program for our middle school students specifically. Lesson number 4 is called On the Hunt. Students, let's just recall real quick what we learned in our first 3 lessons. We've learned about how we can create our own brand and how we want to be represented to various employers. We also learned about how we can achieve different career clusters and their pathways and which one's right for us. And then we learn about how we can create a career map and see which destination that we actually want to reach. And then we have On the Hunt, where we are actually going to learn about how we can become invaluable with some good resume building skills. For this specific lesson, what you'll need is computer access and My Resume. This is a document that's found on our website. So I'll be sure to guide you with how to get to this specific document on our website later in the lesson, okay? Students, what we are going to start off with is a game called 2 Truths and a Myth. So here are the instructions for this game, 2 Truths and a Myth. So each topic contains 4 rounds. So in each round, students will be able to see 3 statements. 2 are truthful, and then 1 is a commonly held myth. So the goal for the students is to correctly identify the myth. There's 2 truths and 1 myth. Once the answers are revealed, we will read the answers on the back and see why they're a truth or a myth. Here we go for the very first one. So round number 1, we have 3 rounds. It's looking for a job. Think about your future career goals. It is possible to get a job now that will provide experience toward your career destination. Pound the pavement, walk around town, and shop into local stores to ask whether they're hiring. And then 3 is most people stumble upon jobs when they least expect them and aren't looking for them. Which one are 2? We have 2 truths and then we have 1 myth. Which one is it? That's right. We have the first 2 are truths and then the last one is a myth. The reason being is that people often have to be looking around, whether it's just walking around or searching on the internet, to find their jobs. Here we go, round number 1, looking for a job still. Look for jobs in places where you spend your free time. Think about where you like to shop, eat, or hang out. Searching for a job is an independent process. Turning down offers of help shows that you are independent and resourceful. Consider a seasonal job to get your foot in the door. Many companies need extra help during the summer or holiday season. We have 2 truths and 1 myth. That's right, the middle one is the myth. Searching for a job is an independent process. That is not true. We all need as much help as we can get to help provide us that dream job of ours. Last question for round number 1. Don't bother with unpaid volunteer work because it will not advance your career. Network with family and friends to let them know that you're looking for a job and the kind of job you're seeking. Research the company before the interview. Learn everything you can about what the company does and what makes them successful. 2 truths and a myth. That first one is the myth. Absolutely always include all the volunteer work that you have done, middle school students. Even if it's unpaid, it shows how you are trying to help the community. Employers absolutely love someone who's trying to help others out. All right, round number 2 for interviewing. It's okay to be a few minutes late to the interview, but do not be later than 10 minutes. Research the company before the interview. Learn everything you can about what the company does and why it's successful. Prepare questions to ask at the interview. Make sure you have questions about the job or the company. 2 truths and a myth. The first one is the myth. You always want to make sure that you are on time. And honestly, what on time is, being at least 10 minutes early. You have to make sure that you're there and present when they call your name out. Question 2 for round 2. The sole purpose of an interview is for an employer to gauge whether you're a good fit for the job. Dress professionally. You don't need to wear a suit, but you should wear a conservative outfit that is clean and wrinkle-free. Maintain good eye contact with your interviewer. This shows that you're confident and actively listening. right. The first one is the myth again. The sole purpose of an interviewer is for an employer to gauge whether you're a good fit for the job is not true. The interview is also used for you to see if they are a good fit for you, but also if you are a good fit for them. It's two ways. Last one for round number 2. Don't be late. Plan to arrive 10 minutes early for the interview. Be enthusiastic, have a positive attitude, and smile. Show the employer that you want the job. Express your individuality in an interview. For example, speaking in slang or wearing revealing clothing and multiple piercings shows an employer that you have your own style. That last one is the myth. You have to be as professional as possible. Round number 3, applying. It's okay to leave areas of an application blank, especially when you do not have the experience needed to complete it. Be available to work. The more availability you have in your schedule, the better chance you'll get the job. And then check to make sure your interest and skill set matches the requirements for the job. That first one is the myth. You want to make sure that you complete every single part of an application and really hone in on the possibilities of your skill sets that matches that career. For question 2, apply to as many jobs as you can, even if you're not qualified. You never know what type of job you'll get. Be honest about your experience and skills. You don't want to promise something that you won't be able to deliver. Proofread your application. Make sure it's legible and error-free. That first one is a myth. You want to make sure that your skills matches that specific career that you're applying for. If you apply for a job and you're obviously not qualified for it, more likely than that you won't be receiving it. But even if you do receive an interview, it's going to be that awkward conversation of, why did you apply even when you don't have the qualities that we need? Last one for round number 3. If applying for a job in person, take the application home and return it the next day. That will give you extra time to polish your responses and spelling. Only apply to companies that are currently advertising open positions. It's a waste of everyone's time to apply to companies that don't have open positions. Complete the entire application. A completed application shows that you are thorough and can follow directions. That middle one is a myth. Lots of times companies, they don't put all their jobs that are available, and so it's helpful for you to apply even to a company that is not hiring at the moment, because if one comes up that open the next week, you're first on the list. Last round, listing references. Adults who know you well, coaches, teachers, counselors, group leaders, or principal make great references. If you have done odd jobs around your neighborhood, such as babysitting, snow shoveling, dog walking, or leaf raking, ask those neighbors to be your references. Mom and dad are your strongest references. They know you best. That last one is the myth. We all know that family is not going to be objective when they're talking about you, and employers know that they want to put your best foot forward. You want to use more professional references when talking to employers. Number 2, if the interview goes well, follow up by sending a page of references. If you volunteer regularly at an organization, ask your supervisor to be a reference. Ask references for permission before you list them on your reference page. That first one is the myth. If the interview goes well, follow up by sending a page of references. You actually should have already submitted your resume that includes your references at the very bottom of the page. Last question. Let your references know when you're applying for a job. Then they will be prepared when contacted by potential employers. List 3 references on a separate sheet of paper. Be ready to give your reference list to an employer during an interview. Personal references are just as strong as professional references. All right. The last one is the myth. Personal references are just as strong as professional references. That is incorrect, because professional references are always more key when they're being contacted by an employer. You do not want your best friend or close friends at all. You want that supervisor, your teacher, your coach, that can really know how you work. So students, I've understood a little bit more about the application the interview, the resume process, but now it's really trying to figure out what does the whole process look like as a whole. So, what do you think when people are looking for a job, how do they find jobs? Where do they go? I mean, a possibility could be walking around the street where they live and seeing a now hiring open sign. They could even be searching online on the internet, trying to find various opportunities. They could be looking in the newspaper and seeing an advertisement for a various job. But no matter what, no matter how they look for a job, more likely that process will continue with actually submitting their resume. So let's go over this term resume. It's a written summary of a person's education and work experience. Typically, it's just one page that lists everything that person has accomplished in their working life. When understanding parts of a resume, you want to make sure it's nice and clean, professional, using adult and professional language. You also want to tailor your resume to a specific job because more likely than not, you'll probably be applying to lots of different jobs in your lifetime. So looking over the different sections of this resume, let's start at the very top. We have the name, address, phone number, and email. You always want to make sure that you use your very complete name and then also the address that you can actually be reached. You want to give an email address that you use consistently, and then also you want to put your voicemail. But a key part is making sure that voicemail is appropriate. You never know when a professional employer is trying to reach out to you because of an application. And also, you want to make sure that you never send a text message to an employer. Always call them back and leave a voicemail if they're not available. Let's move on to that work and volunteer experience. You want to list all the paid jobs that you've had. This could even include babysitting, lawn mowing, tutoring sales, as well as any unpaid work, such as internships or volunteer jobs. Next, we have extracurricular activities and achievements. You want to list any relevant activities on this section and any recognition achieved. This could include certifications and awards. This could be from clubs or sports or any other type of organization. Next, we have education and academic achievements. You want to list your highest grade completed. Is it 6th grade? Is it 7th grade or 8th grade? You also want to list your GPA if it's above 3.0, any honors or academic awards, and then relevant courses completed. And then next is personal qualities. List any skills that have been deemed you as a worker. You can even ask your teachers how they would describe you as a student. Are you enthusiastic? Are you determined? Do you work well in teams? And the last one is references. Let's go over this definition. References are people who can be contacted to attest to your skills and also your character. So you want to provide the names and also the contact information for these people so the employers can actually reach out to them and attest that you are a good fit for that company. That's why it's really important to build these relationships even when you're in middle school. Strong relationships with your coaches, with your teachers, any other supervisors that you may have for a job or for an internship. The more they know about you professionally, the better they can talk about you when an employer calls them. So students, we are now about to create a resume, and we're going to read some different careers that are looking for some teenagers to come and work, and we're going to create the resume for them based on these specific jobs. So let me go ahead and move down my camera. I want to make sure that you can see. Perfect. So these are our 3 jobs that we're going to be looking at. So we have a counselor for summer camp, where they get to oversee campers and junior counselors, organize activities, daily schedules, solve problems, enforce rules, keep kids safe and engaged, and communicate with parents. We also have a job for a server and cashier at an ice cream parlor. They sell and serve ice cream, engage with customers to increase sales when possible, keep front of store neat and clean, and replenish supplies as needed. And then we have the quality assurance tester, a software company. Identify and accurately record bugs in pre-release video games and productivity software. Very detail-oriented. So we are going to focus first on this counselor job in the summer camp. We're going to go through each one. So let's look. We've already read the overview where we are going to be overseeing 36 campers, 4 junior counselors, and we have to organize outdoor activities, crafts, talent shows, teach art and music to kids, create and stick to schedules, solve problems, provide support to homesick campers, enforce rules, keep kids safe, and communicate with parents. So looking at the various details about the job, we see the hours, experience needed, education required, references, personal attributes, key skills, compensation, and also I think that's actually it. So we're seeing all these that are required. Let's go ahead and create this resume. Let me go ahead and move up so you can see the personal attributes. Sense of responsibility, positive attitude, leadership skills, team player, and quick thinking. Let's create this resume based on this specific job. Now, which of these skills belongs on a resume for this job? Photography, write computer code, or teaching art and music to kids? As you can see, we're helping out kids. We want to keep them safe. We want to keep them entertained and organize activities. So that's right. C is going to be the correct answer, teaching art and music to kids. Which of these skills belongs on a resume for this job? Leadership, writing an essay, or cooking healthy food? Now, we are going to be leading not only students in the camp, but also other leaders. So we do need some leadership skills for this job. Then we have question number 3. Which 2 of these experiences belong on a resume for this job? Spelling champion, lifeguard certification, or singer guitarist? We have to make sure that these kids are safe and also entertained. So it's B and C, lifeguard and also singer and guitarist. So now we've created this resume. We have to see where we actually have to put them within each section. We have work and volunteer experience, extracurricular activities, and then also personal qualities. So let's go and see where each one belongs. That's right. So work and volunteer experience, we have teaching art and music, extracurricular activities and achievements, a lifeguard certification, and then also being a singer and guitarist is another extracurricular activity. But then personal quality is actually leadership skills. So let's check out our resume. You can see that we've highlighted that they've taught art and music. On their extracurricular activities and achievements, they've highlighted their lifeguard certification and being a singer, songwriter, and guitarist. And then for personal qualities, they talked about how they are a leader and along with their organizational skills. So I believe that we created a great resume for this teenager to be a camp counselor over the summer camp. So let's do the next one, server cashier at an ice cream parlor. They have to provide samples and engage with customers, serve ice cream, ring up sales, keep front of store neat and clean, replenish supplies as needed. Look at all these requirements part of the job. Hours, experience needed, education required, references, personal qualities, key skills, and also compensation. Let me move up my camera so you can see those personal qualities. So we're looking at the server cashier, making sure that we are going to create a resume that's highlighting how we have had customer service experience before, where we're nice and tidy, we're able to help people. So let's see what questions we can answer. Which 2 skills belong on a resume for this job? Clearing tables, landscaping, or serving customers? We talked about it. We have to be clean and also able to interact with people. So it's A and C. Question number 2. Which of these skills belongs on a resume for this job? Animal lover, champion swimmer, or good communication skills? Animal lover and champion swimmer, those are good qualities, but honestly, we need to learn how to interact with people well. So the correct answer is good communication skills. And then question number 3, which of these belongs on a resume for this job? Spanish speaker, chess master, or gardening hobby? We have to speak to all different types of customers, so I believe that being a Spanish speaker really helps. So that leads us to these various elements on our resume: clearing tables, serving customers, good communication skills, and being a Spanish speaker. Let's check out where they belong. Our work and volunteer experience, we have cleared tables and also served customers as part of a job before. Part of our extracurricular activities and achievements is being a Spanish speaker, and then personal qualities is having good communication skills. So let's check out our final resume for Jake Johnson. We have first our very top of the page, our contact information. We've highlighted about how we've cleared tables in the past and also where we've served food. We really focus on being a good customer service agent. Then extracurricular activities, highlighted Spanish speaker, and then also talking about our personal qualities and having good communication skills. I think this is a great resume, specifically in being a server at an ice cream parlor. And last but not least, we have a quality assurance tester for a software company. They need to search for errors in software before it hits the market. From video games to productivity software, we need testers who identify problems and record them accurately so they can be fixed prior to release. They have to be very detail-oriented. We have our hours, compensation, experience needed, key skills, education required, references, and also our personal attributes. You can see how all these different jobs have different types of requirements. Obviously, we want to be looking for someone who has some type of computer-related experience, like computer repair, helping friends and family, data entry, even playing video games is a big plus. So let's see if we can help build a resume for this specific job. So which two of these belong on a resume for this job? Giving computer lessons, selling cookies, or data entry? We said this is going to be a software company. So we want to make sure that we have computer lessons given and also data entry. Question number 2. Which of these belongs on a resume for this job? Attention to detail, creative writer, or class clown? In the very top part of our section, we see they need to be very detail oriented. So the correct answer is A, having good attention to detail. And our final question, which of these belongs on a resume for this job? Gamer of the year, cross country runner, soprano, and chorus? They said a plus is actually playing video games, and that's part of the requirements in recording bugs in pre-release video games. So that means it would be nice to be a gamer of the year. So let's check it out. We have data entry, attention to detail, giving computer lessons, and gamer of the year. Let's see where they belong on our resume. So part of work and volunteer experience, we have provided our data entry experience and also giving computer lessons. And then our extracurricular activities and achievements, gamer of the year, and then personal qualities, attention to detail. All very specific to this job. For Chris Harrison, he's highlighted that giving computer lessons and also data entry, highlighted that he's been a gamer of the year, and then also that he has great attention to detail. So students, we created these 3 different resumes for very specific jobs. And now it's actually your turn, based on your own achievements, experiences, qualities, to create your very own resume. And so here are your next steps and what you want to do to access this document. First, you're going to go to www.janfl.org. Once you're there, you'll be able to see a large green bar at the very top of the website. What I want you to do is click on the words that say click here. Then you'll be brought to a brand new page, and I want you to scroll down to Instagram Live Learning. From there, you'll click on View Schedule. You'll go to Week 8 Work Readiness Middle School, and then click on My Resume. Here is an interactive document where you can actually type in your own specific information. This goes to the very top, where it's talking about your own name, your contact information, all the necessary details that you need to put, regarding email and also phone number. But then also it talks about your work and volunteer experience. And then it goes into any personal qualities that you may have. And then also talking about the references that you have put down, people from, like coaches, teachers, anybody professional that has seen you in the work setting. Students, make sure to be as honest as possible with all these things that you've listed. Also put anything and everything down, because in middle school it's important to highlight all that you have accomplished. You can talk about your education, about which grade that you're in, what your GPA is, any achievements or honors that you've received. Really highlight on bragging about yourself. so you can become more and more attractive to future employers. It's a really good strategy to develop now in middle school as even you step into high school and even beyond. So students in our this last little bit, the job hunting process is a process that involves finding a job that matches your skills and interests you, applying for that job, often with a resume, providing references to the potential employer, making a good impression on an interview, and then also getting hired. Students, we hope that you become invaluable and to where you become so attractive that where these employers have to hire you. You've done a wonderful job through lesson 1, 2, 3, and also 4, and we hope that you have happy hunting. See ya.